taking, just be. How cute is this outfit? Oh my god. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nox. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. And if you're returning, if you have been watching my videos, thank you so much for taking the time to come back and watch my YouTube channel. I truly appreciate it. Anyway, on today's video, we are going to be, what are we going to be doing? Anyway, on today's video, I'm going to do a story time on, I'm going to be doing a story time. I don't know if I'm ready, but I'll try and give you guys like a sequence of events, what really happened when I experienced the Turkey earthquake. So stay tuned, that's what we're going to be doing today. Anyway, I like my outfit. How cute is this? How cute is this? How cute is this? Yeah. Anyway, it was exactly the 6th of February. Exactly the 6th of February, and deep in my sleep at 4 a.m. Deep in my sleep at 4 a.m. I feel the bed is moving. Excuse that, there was a delivery here. So the motorbike was here to deliver something. Anyway, at exactly 18 minutes past 4 a.m. I feel my bed is moving. I feel my bed is moving, and it's not just okay. I'm missing something here. It's not just I was using this foundation. It's not just moving. Okay, fine. The bed is moving. I think I'm dreaming. So I get up. I get up, and then I get up. Fit me. I get up, and then after getting up, I actually don't like a lot of makeup. I get up and I realize, no, it's actually moving. So I decide, okay, let me switch on the lights. I reach out for my side lamps. Excuse that. Somebody's riding a bike. I thought it was a delivery, but clearly not. Somebody's probably busy with the quad bike on normal roads. Anyway, I get up and then I'm gonna use a brush too. I get up and I realize I'm actually not dreaming. I'm not dreaming is happening. So I decided, let me reach out for my side lamp. And I do exactly that. I reach out for my side lamps. I switch on the lights. I'm at the hotel, by the way. I reach out for the side lamps. I realized, oh no, shit. The side lamps were moving. The side lamps were moving. The TV is mounted on the wall. The TV was also like moving. I'm like, oh no. First instinct, I'm like, I'm in danger and I just need to get myself out of here. I do exactly that. I don't even grab shoes. Like, I just ran for my life. I get out of the room. On the corridors there's like carpet. So I get off the room and I realize, no, actually, man, I can't take the staircases. So I ran back to now look for the emergency exit door. I find it and I'm like, okay, we can go. And yeah, started running down the staircases. I'm at the 7th floor. To be honest, at that particular time, I didn't come across anyone. The funny thing is that I didn't come across anyone until like the 5th floor. That's when I like came across people actually. I think it's only on the 5th floor I come across people who are actually also trying to exit the building. So a little bit of like comfort to say, okay, at least I'm not the only one who's left in the building. And then I decide, okay, I obviously continue running for my life, and I run. I finally get to ground floor. I ask like the receptionist guys what's going on, and they tell me no, everything is going to be fine. We're just experiencing like an earthquake, but everything should be fine. Guys, they're saying it like it's not an earthquake. Like they're saying everything is going to be fine. Like your building did not just move. Anyway, we evacuate. We get to an assembly point. Everybody now is evacuated. We get to the assembly point. We chill there. It's like 4 a.m. It's winter in Turkey. And because it's winter, it's obviously freezing cold. I remember that weekend I was out with a friend, out in the mountains to go snow skiing. That's how cold their winter is. Like during winter season, they actually experience snow. So you can imagine it's 4 a.m. in the morning. You can imagine how cold it is, how freezing it is. Anyway, we get downstairs, we wait. I think we waited there for a good like 3-4 hours. It's like 7 a.m. now. People are now comfortable. We haven't had another earthquake. We haven't experienced major aftershocks. So people are not comfortable to go back to their rooms. And then I was not comfortable to go back to my room. I'm like, I'm not going there. I almost died there. Had I not woken up, like, what was going to happen? And had this thing been like so extreme and a building fell down, I was actually going to die. So I'm not going up to my room. People from work are calling me, trying to calm me and trying to get me to a point where I can be comfortable to go back to my room. But I was like, no, that's not going to happen. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. And then finally I gathered the strength to actually, because I was at a client side, so the client calls and says, today there's no work, so you guys can stay at home, whatever. So that means I now have the whole day at this hotel, being tormented by the surroundings of a building that I woke up to that was extremely shaking. So I finally gather the strength and I go back to my room. And the HR people are calling me from my company, like, no, you can find out if you can't move to a lower level, because I was on the 7th floor. You can find out to find out if you can't move to a lower level. In my head, I'm like, what is safer, being at the top or being at like the lower levels of the building? So I wasn't too sure about doing that. And then I finally gathered the strength and I actually went back to my room. And I went back to my room. Well, my mind was actually just made up that, you know what, today I'm going home. I don't care if this thing goes away. I don't care if it doesn't come back. But today I'm actually going home. Fine then. After deciding that, I decided finally in my room, I decided, okay, let me pack, because what I usually do when I get to Turkey is I would like unpack, because I stay there for like 2 weeks. So I'd unpack all my clothes and like hang them, because most of the time I'm actually going to the office to work. So it makes sense to unpack your stuff so that you don't have to like get things out of the luggage every single morning when you're getting ready for work. So I'm like, no, I decided, let me pack my stuff back to my bag, because the end goal really is to go home after this. Like today, the end goal is to just go home. Fine, yeah. I do that. I unpack. I pack, and just, oh no, but before I decide to pack, I attempt to nap, because I've been up since 4 a.m. I attempt to nap, but like it's just not happening, guys, because remember, this is the same bed I woke up to that was like shaking and all of that. So I couldn't do that. I literally couldn't do that. Like I didn't have the strength to fall asleep. So I decided, let me get up and pack. Just when I was about to pack, before I do that, to send an email to like work to let them know, I guys know. In fact, I don't care what you guys are thinking, but at this very particular moment, I want out. I want to go home. I sent an email to let them know, guys. Can you please get me home? Honestly, I want to go home. Please get me home. And yeah, just after that email, and I was busy packing, the second earthquake strikes. Excuse me, what? This time around, I'm well aware that there's an earthquake. Secondly, it's like 10 times worse because obviously I am aware and I'm actually awake, standing up because I was packing, and then I decided, you know what? Remember, I had started packing. Like I decided, okay, this time around, grab your laptop bag, grab your handbag. At least those have like your identification. Because the last time I didn't even care to like take stuff. I decided, okay, take your ID, because clearly this thing is rough, and we had already read. I had already read somewhere that nearby buildings had collapsed and stuff like that. I'm like, get your identification so that even if you do die, at least you've got like your identification documents with you, and people can actually identify you and get you back to your family. I am a lawyer. I grab my laptop bag. I grab my laptop bag. I run for my life. Guys, this time around, the building was doing this. This is me attempting to run down to ground floor, and the building is literally doing this. The building is doing this. As I'm running down the staircases, the emergency staircases, like I'm also trying to get like in the right motion, because as I'm running, the building is literally doing this, and I'm almost falling down with my every stride, with my every step of running. Hey bo, I'm obviously crying for my life as well. Like I had to tell myself, Guti, you know what? Forget about the panic attacks. I had to put my panic attacks on hold, guys. Imagine, how do you even do that? And I was literally trying to get myself to ground floor so that I can at least, I get to ground floor. I get to ground floor. Victory, right? Quite excited, quite happy. Hey, I made it out of the building. I made it out alive. Blah, 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 blah. And this time around, I'm serious about going home. And then they tell me airports aren't working. I'm like, guys, I'm not what's going on. And I've packed, and like, oh, what about your other luggage? I'm like, no, I don't care about those are my clothes, and I don't care about them. I care about my life right now. I just want to leave here. Okay, fine, sharp here. At this point, in guys, I literally escalated the matter to like director. I'm like, dude, I'm here and things are bad and I want to go home. And because I had escalated things, I planned 30 minutes. They found a flight for me. They found everything, and it was time to leave. I told the hotel staff. Obviously, I'm a regular there. I told them, guys, I'm leaving. And they're like, is all your stuff in there? I'm like, yeah, I had already started packing, so I should have all my stuff here. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm absolutely sure. They're like, oh no, I actually didn't have my bags with my luggage, the one with like my clothes and stuff. So I asked the hotel staff to get me that in the thingy, and then I checked out. They didn't even charge me that day. I normally get like, okay, I didn't do laundry anyway that time I was there, because it had only just been a week when the earthquake struck. So yeah, the thingy, they call, guys, please excuse me, I don't have the right thing to apply this. This is the closest thing I can use to apply my eyeshadow. I have the actual eyeshadow palettes, but I don't have the the brush to apply it. It's broken. It broke a while ago, so I'm using this. I don't know what this is. I found it in my makeup bag. Anyway, I decide They finally get me a flight. They couldn't get me a direct flight to South Africa. I had to go via Dubai. And Nakona, I had to go to like another city called Istanbul where I could catch a flight out of the country. And the actual airport that was taking me, the actual flight that was taking me to Dubai was not in the same airport that I had landed Goyo leaving. So the city I was in, I had to leave there to go to Istanbul. So I landed at a different airport. Okay, guys, there's so many things I missed in between that. And the actual to get myself to the airport was an issue as well, because normally I take like the company car, and remember that everybody is like stressed. The company is not working. They had declared it an off day at work. So I actually just had to get myself. Taxis were not working because things were so bad. Like cars were not moving because anything could happen. Like a building could literally fall on top of you. The road could crack and things like that. But anyway, the hotel arranged something for me because I told them I'm going home. And guys, I want to tell you the hotel I stayed at is a professional hotel. What I mean by that is the city where I stayed at, there's a lot of like work that is going on there, like engineering work, construction work and stuff like that. So the hotel I'm staying at is mostly like males. So even when you feel like there's victory, even if you feel like there's victory because you've made it downstairs, there's no girly girl that you're going to be like celebrating with, because the people that stay at the hotel are like engineers, like those German guys with big structures and with no emotions, who are just like nothing just happened. And here I was crying and hysterically crying at that. People probably thought, oh my gosh, she's so dramatic. But I mean, I hadn't experienced an earthquake in my life. So yeah, that's what happened on the day. And then I finally got myself to the airport. At the airport, there were ridiculous aftershocks. It got to a point we sat at the airport for a good. My flight was meant to leave at 6. I had left the hotel at like 3 p.m. But I think I actually left like my flight. In fact, it came to a point where they ran out of flights. The reason they ran out of flights is they were stopping to transport civilians, and they were starting to bring in flights for rescue teams. So they were starting to bring in flights from the US, like the soldiers from the US, from India, and so actually I got into a flight that came through with the soldiers. I'm not sure from India or US, but we got that flight to take us to the next city, which was in Istanbul. And I remember when they actually announced that they will no longer be flying, so people must go back home. I sat there, I called my mom and I'm like, hey, they are saying that they've run out of flights and we must just go back where we come from because they are not going to fly us. Mom prayed. In fact, even myself, that day I prayed the whole day. I've never prayed so much in my life. I prayed the whole day. Even when they announced that the flights had there were no more flights, I actually sat there with so much hope and belief that God is going to take me out of there. I prayed and 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 I prayed. And then they got us into a rescue flight, which if I didn't have so much faith, probably would have went back to the hotel and whatever. But I prayed and I prayed. I prayed and I prayed. And I prayed and I prayed. I prayed and I prayed. And I did get a flight out of the city. But it was landing in a different airport to the one where I was taking my next flight. Remember I told you guys it's winter, so it's actually snowing. So when I got to the other airports, I thingy, I had to get like a taxi to get me to the next airport, which is like 2 hours away from where I was. And I was actually gonna miss my next flight, so I had, before I do all of that, I had to call and ask them and ask our travel agent to change my flight because I was not gonna make it since I now landed at a different airport. Guys, when I got to Istanbul, there was no earthquake, but when I got there, the ground was shaking. And when I finally got a taxi, a cab to take me from that airport to the next airport. It was like a 2 hour drive. Guys, I've never been so scared and traumatized in my life. Like, I was like, did I just survive an earthquake? I remember that entire day, my mom, I was constantly calling my mom because I really thought it was the last day of my life. I was constantly calling mom. Guys, there's nothing I would do without that woman. I was constantly calling my mom. Shame, man. At some point, my mom's a teacher. At some point, she got like her colleagues to pray. As I was on the phone, they were all like praying. And yeah, terrible experience. Anyway, I escaped Turkey. I took a cab, 2 hour drive. Still trying to take in everything that I had experienced that day because it was just so unbelievable. What is going on here? It is so unbelievable. Like, God, why do you make me go through the stuff that I go through? Like, you know what, guys? I'll tell you this. The bigger the blessings, the bigger the tests as well. Like, you really go through the most if you are blessed, because at one point I was really excited to have an opportunity to go overseas and just work overseas, just to have like global experience, international experience. Like, I was extremely happy about that, and I felt like God is fully blessed me. Like, he did exceedingly so great for me. But also, when I went through what I went through, I was like, huh, this is no more a blessing. I take that back, it is a blessing. But also, like, again, like I say, the bigger the blessing, the bigger the test as well, guys. Like, who would have thought I would experience the whole earthquake? And they hadn't had an earthquake of that huge magnitude in 100 years. How unlucky am I? Like, I'm just so unlucky. They hadn't had something like that in 100 years, and for me to experience something like that, like, even when you sit down and you tell someone, hey, I actually went through this, they just don't believe you. That's how, it's so surreal. Like, it's just so unbelievable that anyone could experience something like this. Guys, I didn't tell you the whole details of the thing because obviously I'm still healing from it. I'm just only telling you the stuff that I'm comfortable to tell you, and stuff that doesn't make me cry, because I'm still healing from this. I'm on chronic medication for PTSD because of this, so it's really it's trying times for me, guys, to be honest, with the whole experience. I'm not fully healed, but I think I've given you bits and pieces of what I went through, and how unlucky I was, and how blessed I was to actually make it out alive. If there's anything with this whole thing, that's just taught me ukuthi uNkulunkulu and uNkulunkulu ongamele impilo yami. God is the Alpha and Omega of my life. There is no one else I put my trust in except God. I've seen the hand of Christ in the land of the living, and I am extremely grateful. I can stand up and say, mina ngalwa nokufa sibhekene kanje, but God saw me through that. And honestly, guys, like, I don't wish this upon anyone, but also it has just grown my faith ridiculously, because angiboni ukuthi ngaphuma kanjani kule nto. When I read the articles, you guys saw it, you guys saw the news, you guys read the articles, you saw how bad it was. Like, so when I think of where I come from and how I made it out there alive, I don't see any of that happening. I know uNkulunkulu is a very big part of my life, and that has literally grown my faith and my trust in God. Like, I want to say this, and I want to say it wholeheartedly, and I want to say it loud and clear, that there is nobody else that made it possible for me to get out of the country except God. It was God, and He made me get out of the country safe, unharmed, not injured, and just as full as I am. It was just God, nobody else but God, and I am extremely thankful for that. And ngiyohlezi ngimkhonza because of that. There's so many other things that He has done in my life, but I think this for me was like a turning point to say, angamele impilo yakho noma ngazithiwa ucabanga ukuthi there is a greater power out there, ayikho idlula yakho. I mean, how could you not believe in Christ? Ophuma kwi-earthquake, or survive the earthquake, and you look like this. Tell me, how is God not a part of your life? How is God not the beginning and the end of your life, the alpha and omega of your life? Excuse me, say what? Is this you? Yes, honey. Is this you? Yes, baby. Is this all of you? Yes, honey. All of you? Yes. Nobody else, just me. Yes. Yeah, guys, that's the end of like my. Guys, I messed up my tripod. And it misbehaves. That's the end of my video. I hope I want to say I hope you guys enjoyed the story, because it's not one to really enjoy, but I hope you guys understand now when I say I'm on my way, I'm going to see a therapist, I'm going to see my psychology, I'm busy with my therapy sessions. It's because I am really going through the most. But recovery has been really great. I'm doing well, and yeah, actually I just got a call. I met up with the guy Wangi Puchek. I know that's a bit weird, but he gave me ujek. I don't want to eat it. I got home and I was like, keep your ujek, but I'm very skeptical about eating it. Anyway, it turns out he owns like a shisanyam. And he just called me now to say, hey, when can I deliver your meat? So I'm going to be eating some shisanyama bride meat today. Not too sure if he'll do that, but I'll still prepare my Sunday lunch. And yeah, anyway guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much if you watched it this far, thank you so much for listening. I know I was probably rambling most of the time and just digressing, but anyway, wow. Just wanna put some lip gloss on my lips. Sorry, there's a mirror on the side. It makes no sense when you see here. Just to finish the look. Anyway, as I was still saying, Wuti, if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back, and if you're new, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. Okay guys, this is Nox, and thank you so much for watching this video. Cheers. I look so, oh my god, I look so pretty. I'm not too sure about my eyeshadow, but I mean, I think I like it. Anyway, bye bye. See you next time.